I was just asked to show or do something real quick on how to apply the group kind of logo so we can help share our work and make sure everyone gets recognized and bring more people to it. So what you'll do is you'll simply add a new material. So from here, after you add a new material, you can do Control T and it adds a base color, right? And you can just open the image, right? So if I go into downloads, then we can find our file, which I think I've got named a bunch of random stuff. Let me hurry and grab it. Let me just drag this in. I'm gonna just drag this in from my computer. Boom, there we go. So now, as you see, you've got our texture here, and we can plug it into the UVs with the mapping node and into the base color. So now you have this base color here. Now if you wanted to, for example, you wanted to layer it, you can do either a alpha version, so you can go into the alpha here. So yeah, so if you plug it into the alpha, for example, then it actually becomes transparent on the darker side. So on the image here on the side, let me pull this out for you guys. On this image, when on the darker side is transparent. Now the reason it's not completely transparent is because the background of that one is gray. So I'm gonna add. You can add a color ramp and you can actually darken it up, right? So if you want it to be essentially like that, and then maybe if you wanted to go, for example, you could plug this into the emission, right? Into the color here, and you can set your strength. And then also, once again, or not once again, I haven't mentioned this, but you can do like a mix color, right? And you can plug it in, and you can do a complete one, and then you can change the color. And that way you can make it a red kind of on the logo, right? You can brighten it, and obviously we can always turn up the emission to show it, or clamp that one to make it more solid, like that. And that becomes a part of your object and your texture. If you were doing one of our projects on like the 30-day challenges, then you could actually basically assign a couple of faces to have this texture on it, and you could layer it. So like you could do a base color here of, let's say, paper or something, right? So if I do let's see, Control T here, and we just add another couple of nodes here, and I go to my files, and sorry if this is a little bit more than what you guys want. You can fast forward some of this if you want, but yeah, if we go here and we go to our my textures I've got here, which will be here. Let's say we did paper, right? Right here, for example. Right? Now because this is plugged into the alpha, that doesn't work right off the bat. And then you'll need to change this one to multiply. There we go. So now you've got your logo on the paper that you're trying to layer on. And once again, this could still use a lot of work. You can see the edges are no longer transparent. So yeah, all we have to do is plug this into the alpha for the paper here, right? If we, not the alpha there, the color here, into the alpha. Now you've got yourself a paper with our logo on it, right? You got all the edges, you got the paper texture. Now this is a little bit low quality because obviously my samples are low, but yeah. That would be how you do that. But yeah, that would be how you add in your logo for our group onto your objects, right? So if you want to do emission, you can always turn it up. And for example, if I very quickly go into compositing, say use nodes, and I pull the render layers out, and I add a glare node. Oh, nope, that wasn't what we wanted. I add a glare node, right? And I change it from streaks to bloom. And I think for default, I think it should be just fine. Right, we'll go into shading and we'll just turn on compositing, and that looks a lot better. So now you can see as I change the color here, the logo or the render or the material kind of changes. Once again, if it's too dark, you can turn up your emission strength here, right? And we can also see what it looks like in rendered mode, and that's actually looking really good. I think this is a little bit too faded. Sorry, I'm just, you know, I mean, we've all done it. We're all 3D artists, so we always like to tweak all the little details and kind of get it just right. But yeah, that is how we would get our logo onto our objects when we're doing our modeling and we're doing our 30-day challenges and stuff. Oops. This is how you do it. If you guys actually want to implement this into your own work, so that you guys can actually kind of start to build your own personal brands and kind of like market yourself a little better. When you do your work, you can actually kind of build in your watermarks into your art, if that makes sense. And so when you share your work, or if other people share your work and like your things and they see it, they